Hello everybody, this is the Orca Theory, and I am taking a look today at One More Night, a game brought to us by Big Red Planet LLC, a four-man indie team. They just put this game out there. It's available on GameJolt. I will put the description in the links below so that you can find it. I'm doing a bit of post-com today, not for any particular reason. I just want to give it a good shout. It gives me a chance to kind of play the game, and get my first impressions in, and then kind of talk about it afterwards while kind of watching it. This is actually kind of fun. I'm enjoying this a lot. The game itself is basically kind of a bit of a survival game, mixed with tower defense, mixed with waves of enemies. It's a little bit of Killing Floor, a little bit of Left 4 Dead. A little bit of Rust, honestly, with some of the ways you can purchase things. It's fine. This game is, from what I understand, in kind of a alpha beta phase, and it definitely feels like it. You could kind of see from where I started off. There's not a lot of instructions or tooltip helps or anything. I kind of just figured things out as I went along, and you're going to see me kind of struggle to find the right menu. One of the things that this game has is it has purchasable weapons. You see that as I kill zombies, they give me money. The money at the top reading 551. And here I am, pressing a lot of different buttons, trying to figure out, found one menu. One thing I'd like to see from the developers is maybe a tooltip or something saying like, hey, once you finish your first night, why don't you purchase some things? That would be kind of nice. Because actually, once you do find that menu, and once you do get into some of the weapons, that's where the game really starts to take off. There are a lot of different things that you can buy. You can buy different weapons. I buy a machine gun and a shotgun at some point. You can buy basic defense structures, basically like these little wooden barricades of various sizes and qualities that you can purchase individually and place down around you or in the environment to help obstruct some of these zombie hordes coming my way. You can also purchase turrets. The one thing that I really disliked about the game, and once again, this is kind of a check it out critique sort of video, so I'm going to talk first about some of the things that I don't like and some of the things that I do like. The menus are really hard to find, so even just putting like a button up after that first night, being like, press this button to find the menu, that would be super helpful. Secondly, hotkeys and stuff are fairly obvious. Like you see at the bottom, I've got my little pistol. It has a little 1 next to it. It's telling me that it's hotkeyed to 1. That's not bad, but the way the zombies move, the hotkeys are tough to get to when you've got both hands kind of preoccupied. You can scroll through, so if I scroll up or down on my mouse, it will bring me to my machine gun, and I'll be attempting that. You'll see on the video in a second. But you need to scroll up to get to the machine gun, and if you scroll down, it doesn't actually do anything. It just brings you back to the front of the hot screen menu. I would like to see that actually, not even just reverse, but work both ways, where if you scroll up and you reach the end of the menu, it brings you back to the beginning of the menu. If you scroll down and it brings you to the end of the other side of the menu, it brings you to the opposing opposite side. I hope that makes sense. Another thing I'd like to see is some variation in the zombie hordes. The first couple nights are just plain old zombies that move at kind of like a medium pace. That's not bad. You're going to see after this night, I believe, you're going to start seeing some skeleton warriors, and you start to see some quicker zombies, stuff like that. It's not a ton of variation, and the models all look very samey. So when they're coming at you, and they're coming at you quick, and it's dark, and you don't have a flashlight, it's really tough to see what's coming at you and what you need to do to prevent them from getting to you. See, I'm setting up some barricades here now that I've finally figured it out. The other thing that I think this game really needs is a longer day cycle. I'm not saying it necessarily needs to be realistic. Part of the nice thing about this game is that it's super fast-paced. Yo, look at that glitch right there. Oh yeah, getting hung up on the barricade. It's just that the nights will last the same length as the wave of enemies. So if there's 100 enemies coming at you, that night will last all 100 enemies. If there's just one that is roaming around, you're going to have to go find that one enemy to end the night. And then the day cycle is only 30 seconds, which means you've got 30 seconds to find the menu, find what you want in the menu, debate whether or not it's worth spending the money, and then you have whatever time left to place down barricades and reload your weapons and all that stuff. It doesn't actually need to be super long. I would actually say 60 seconds would be an appropriate amount of time, because then that gives you 30 seconds to navigate the menus, and then that gives you another 30 seconds, if you take your time with that, to set up barricades and kind of prepare yourself. There is multiplayer available for this game, and I think that might lend itself to a better scenario. I haven't tried out the multiplayer yet. I'm actually going to try that out later with some of the Go Play Gaming folks. That might be a little better, because if you have 3 people navigating barricades, one person to set up barricades, one person to get weapons and stock up on ammo and that sort of thing, and then another person just to help manage inventories, stocks. That might be better, but from a single-player perspective, 60 seconds is absolutely necessary. Yeah, and then you'll see here, I killed everybody. My barricades are there. The other major critique that I have about this game is that you put down a tower, and you're going to see me purchase a tower momentarily. The tower actually has a pretty good life bar. I like the length of that life bar. It is appropriate where it can stand on its own, but if it gets swarmed, it will be quickly overwhelmed. That feels appropriate for this kind of like wave style game. Because if you see the life bar on the turret getting low, then you have to go and rescue it, and that amps up gameplay. That's a nice feature. But you'll see that I really struggle later on with how to reload a turret. Something I didn't know going into this, that you would have to reload a turret with ammo. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that, if that's a menu press or just a simple button click, and you see me struggling to figure that out with the turret I buy later on. Overall, it's a fun game, and there's a lot there to like. It's fast-paced, which I enjoy, and lends itself to kind of a multiplayer setting. If you've got 3 people frantically shooting at waves of zombies, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. But honestly, and this is more personal for me, the zombie game is so saturated. I mentioned Left 4 Dead before, and that's just one of many. One of an infinite amount of zombie games. I would almost appreciate it better if they changed it up a bit, because they show different types of monsters, skeleton warriors and all that stuff. Change up the design a little bit, so that, yeah, maybe zombies are kind of the base one, but bring me some other horrors. Bring me some other creatures to fight. So it's not just naked, shambling zombies coming at me. It would make the game stand on its own, and it would add kind of a nice creative aspect other than just the stereotypical zombie shooter, because that's ultimately where this game does fail. I've shared a couple critiques, but those are things that could be fixed by the developers, and those are just the critiques of one guy. But I am not excited for playing another zombie shooter. I'm really not. Yeah, and even here, I'm watching now, the damage tickers on top, those don't do anything for me. I would actually recommend taking those off. It doesn't matter. Shoot it till it's dead. It's not like damage pointers are telling me anything. Remove them. They're a distraction on screen. Anyways, it's a fun little game, and there's a lot of good promise there of base building and tower defense sort of style gameplay. But other than the zombie aesthetic, what I'd kind of like to see is them to double down on the whole base building thing, because that's where I had a lot of fun. You see me try to set new barricade setups. I'm using this mausoleum here as kind of a third wall here, which quickly deteriorates, as you can see. I had a lot of fun experimenting with that, and I'd like to see them double down on that. Maybe put up some different types of structures. Maybe, like, as you level up, if there is going to be a level up system, you can build, some small houses or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. Creating constant spawn points. You can see where the zombies are coming out. If they're coming just straight out of the ground, it's tough to see them. And I'm going to die. Doubling down on that would be a lot of fun for me. But anyways, this game is definitely an alpha. You can download it for free off GameJolt. I will make that available for you in the links below. Send these developers your love. They've worked hard, and it shows. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this episode of Check It Out.